Welcome back, everybody, to the wonderful wide world of Pokemon. This is the Mount Silver podcast. Damn, we're just rolling through season 2 of this.
Good. We feel good right now. It's been sounding great, man.
A lot of people have been listening to it. A lot of people have been giving their thoughts or, things just like that. With that said, my name is Meelz. I'm here with the Platinum Shino boy himself, Jeff.
Yeah. What's up?
I'm here with Big Gucci Pafif.
Hello.
And, of course, we have our guest on the line. You may have heard him on this podcast. First of all, doing God's work, weekly podcasts on the Lookout Network. So a major applause to him. We have Jamal, LJ, Slowbo Trainer. What are you on this?
Burger
what are we
Chef.
calling you on? Yeah,
Burger Chef.
Yeah, Burger Chef. Come on, man.
I really am slow, bro. Like, because he cooked for the homies. I just want to cook for the homies.
Continue to listen to the Big Guys podcast every week. Manga, everything related to manga.
We gotta do a Pokemon manga one very soon.
I know, man. It's gotta happen.
I don't know where to find it to read it.
Charmeleon cutting Arbok in half,
bro. Like,
and then cooking him. I gotta show you that.
I don't think people understand the intensity of the Pokemon, like the manga version of Pokemon.
Yeah, that shit is mature.
It's very mature, and it's really crazy because when you watch the show is like the exact opposite. It's very kidding.
Yep.
But like in the manga, like even the storylines, even who we're discussing today, he has a very crazy story in the Pokemon manga.
Well, that is reassuring because the story in this episode itself is not as interesting.
It's propped up by like nothing.
Yeah,
it really is. You don't even know it's a gym until halfway into the episode. Nonetheless, let's talk about the game experience. As always, we always got to break down the game before we break down the actual episode itself, and we got to go through our experience with Fuschia City and the Fuschia City gym. And whatever that was. I mean, Fuschia City, we talked about it. Pat and I talked before kind of everyone got on. But Fuschia City, in the middle of nowhere. Legitimately in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah. Strange place.
But
it's a big city, though. It's a big city.
It is, once you realize, like, geography. I mean, it's not Cinnabar Island. But I even think Cinnabar Island might be closer to actual civilization than this. But you get it. You go to Fuschia City. Fuschia City, you're either starting from Lavender Town, which is about, I don't know, in Pokemon, it's got to be like 30 Pokemon.
It's pretty far.
Bro, it's deep. Like, this is like the suburbs.
You go through like a lot of battles to even get over there. It's an annoying path.
Yeah, you go through the bridge, then there's the like part where you come off the bridge through the little like fence thing, little maze joint. And then after the maze joint, you go down and you meet all those trainers that are just hanging out outside catching some rays or some shit like that.
Yeah.
I don't know, but
So the sunbathers.
yeah, it's a sunbathing trainer.
Sunbather Corey wants to fight.
Yeah, but all those people are just enjoying the time. Or you come from Celadon City and you have to go through the bike, the bike lane thing.
That's my favorite. That's my favorite way.
I feel like that's the more common way too.
It is, and it looks so cool in Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee, by the way. You can literally fly your Charizard all the way through there if you want. It's kind of dope. You don't even have to ride a bike. Yeah, it's really cool.
Oh, man. All right. Well, you know what? That sounds cool.
It is cool.
All those trainers there. You get to Fuschia City itself. Fuschia City, it's weird. Fuschia City, either the 5th gym or the 6th gym, doesn't even matter at this point. In the show, it's in the 6th gym. It could be the 5th gym. It's really if you choose to go there or not. I feel like this gym should be, I don't even know if it should be optional, but it might as well, just the general feeling of it, that it is kind of like, even this episode itself, like this episode kind of feels like a transitional thing. Like you don't even notice that he gets his 6th badge in this episode.
Yeah.
Like, it's it is what it is. But Fuschia City, I mean, the one thing that it has that we have to talk about is the Safari Zone. Safari Zone.
Great times.
I love the thrill of the Safari Zone.
Yeah, I think
I love,
especially at that time, because it was a little bit, it being timed by your steps and having a new ball like the Safari ball. It's like, let me get this outside of the Safari Zone. I'm over here trying to figure out as a kid, like, can I get these all the time?
I'm hitting these poor bastards with rocks.
Like you're throwing rocks at them, you're throwing food.
So foul.
No, but so here's the thing: the food thing and the rock thing. I never got it. You threw too many rocks, it ran away. You give too many food, it takes the food and it runs away.
There's a balance.
I never put. They didn't seem to be an actual method to anything. It kind of just.
I was chaotic with it. I didn't know the recipe, and I just went for it.
Yeah, Pat, what was your go-to method in terms of like catching all this stuff?
The Pokemon would appear. I'd size it up, and then I'd throw either bait or a rock, and then the next turn I would either throw the Pokeball or throw the other thing I didn't throw, and then the next turn I'd throw the Pokeball. I didn't know what the fuck any of it meant.
Sometimes, depending on the Pokemon,
man, Pat got me crying right now.
Anything like that, if it's like a Dratini, I might just throw the Pokeball immediately.
Yes.
If a Pinsir popped up, I'm gonna just throw it immediately, or like a Kangaskhan was the rarest one in there. So
Kangaskhan was super rare.
Because a lot of these Pokemon, like especially if you'd played the game once already, you were waiting for the Safari Zone to get them again.
Just to get them.
Yeah.
I mean, anything else in
you're
there,
not getting anywhere else.
I think anything else in there, you had to get it through like the gambling. I think Dratini was in there,
Dratini,
but they were so difficult to get. So I think we had Scyther, Pinsir, Kangaskhan.
I think there were the Nidorina and Nidorino were in there.
Yeah, was Rhydon in there?
Yes, I believe so.
Yes.
We might be getting it confused with the entrance to
maybe.
Yeah.
Oh,
no.
Surf, of course.
Surf was there. So there's a story.
Oh shit! Okay.
You definitely had to get. The only way you could get Surf is you had to talk to the Safari Zone Warden. Now the Safari Zone Warden has no teeth, you have to find the gold teeth.
He's got gold
in the Safari Zone, and you had to find the gold teeth in the Safari Zone.
This was actually one of the more challenging things later in the game if you didn't know about the steps and shit.
Yeah.
That was one of my favorite moments of Pokemon is the fact that I gotta find this man's grill.
Find his grill.
I was like, this is connecting to real life here now. Just helping a person find their grill, and you gotta return it to them. And in return, you get a great move. I love Surf.
The trick was not to ride your bike in the Safari Zone because the bike was so reckless. You take up a lot of steps just trying to get places fast. So just walk.
Oh, I'm sorry. You find Surf in the Safari Zone, and Goldtooth Guy gives you strength. So you get a 2-for-1 here with the HM. You get Surf and strength. So I mean, you know what? Safari Zone, great time. I think a much better time. The best time you'll have in Fuschia City by far.
Fuschia City is like that city where you gotta like run errands, and you're just like, all right, if I get to it, I'll get to it. But
the layout was cool. They had like the little Safari Zone monsters trapped in cages. If you're interested in catching a Fearow, you can do that. And I think the Surf and Pikachu event happened in Fuschia City later on too.
I think it was at the bottom. It was by the shore where you could get the Surfing Pikachu thing, and then you could also take a long ass trip to.
You want to know what's crazy though? The crazy thing about this city is it may be the city that I visited the most. I'm gonna explain that real quick because.
All right, please do.
Please.
I have no idea.
No. The reason I did visit and fly to this city the most was to fly to Cinnabar to do Missing No cheat.
Oh, okay. Yes, very fair.
You didn't fly from Pallet Town?
Surfing route. That's my main surfing route.
The surfing route here had so many trainers, and then you had to go through like Seafoam Islands or whatever the hell it is.
Actually, they said that you couldn't fly to Cinnabar to do the Missing No thing.
You can't. Well,
I definitely did.
I never did. I just dealt with it however I had it the first time, so I would always just swim from there.
I swear, maybe I'm wrong.
You may be right, bro.
I wouldn't put money on it, but I think I did it.
I'm pretty sure I flew. I feel like I definitely flew there. But
I used to like surfing everywhere in Pokemon. I rarely use
the little tadpole icon.
Surfing is such a chore for me now. Oh yeah, the tadpole thing is hilarious. Surfing is such a chore for me now. Like I don't want to, because of this game. I think some parts of Johto, you definitely had, there was a little bit of surfing thing, and then most of Hoenn region, get me out of the water. Don't put me in the water anymore, because you guys obviously don't know. It's just swimmers and surfers everywhere with the same Poliwag tentacle. Yeah,
for God's sake.
Dive was one of the lowest moments of the game.
Gosh, dude, it's so bad.
Dive, also waterfall.
Waterfall sucked. There's zero reason for waterfall.
Surf up the fucking waterfall.
That's what I'm saying. Like, waterfall was so unnecessary. I swear you used it like twice in the game.
No, not even waterfall. Whirlpool. Whirlpool.
So bad.
Was
okay. So dive where I'm holding on to the Pokemon while it's going underwater, and I'm holding my breath. Like, what's happening here?
Yeah, I'm not sure what the situation was. I think Whirlpool wasn't an HM though. Like you could just do it outside, like teleport.
Nah, Whirlpool was definitely an HM,
was it?
Bro.
Oh God!
I promise you. I promise you. It is it was just, they thought they had it together and they didn't. I don't know what to say.
Let's give them 3 water HMs.
I was just about to say, like, there's no reason for us to have that many water HMs. If you know how to surf, you know how to handle the water terrain, and you will probably figure it out from there.
Those other ones were revenge for Surf being the only HM worth doing in battle.
No, that's true.
Yeah. Surf is so good.
Yeah, Surf is still good.
Yeah, Surf is still good. From there on, let's get to the episode itself. So the episode, we got to do a little update because things have changed since we've last talked. Since Ash got his 5th badge from Erica.
Yeah, so, I finished the Pokedex. That's what changed.
Oh, turn up!
Yeah, I've never actually done that before, but I finished it in Shield.
Well,
got my shiny charm.
You got a couple months before.
I told you guys I was nervous about whether or not I was going to make it before the update.
Yeah, I told you do it.
Listen, you did it, bro.
Congrats. I still haven't done it, so now, Pat, I'm inspired. I should probably complete a Pokedex.
Yeah,
it's not too bad. It felt good.
It's not too bad. It's not too bad at all. Team wise, boom, boom, boom. So Brock has a Vulpix now. Shout out to Brock and his Vulpix.
Love the Vulpix featuring in this episode.
Very cool.
Yeah. Vulpix is around. It's beautiful. It's he gets it. He pretty much is given to. He's given it from a breeder, and he loves Vulpix, so nothing wrong with that. Misty also gets Psyduck.
Oh God,
Psyduck. Very prevalent in this episode, and quite prevalent in possibly the rest of the time we see Misty throughout the show.
Made it. They got Psyduck over. Psyduck's in Detective Pikachu.
He joined the culture after this. Like he was a part of he's one of those Pokemon you definitely think about when you're just going through early days, just because of the anime.
And then a very sneaky catch that you may or may not remember or forget. Ash catches a Muck.
Yeah, Muck. I remember his Muck.
He catches the Muck in, I believe it looks like the power plant. As they were traveling through Gringy City. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
New shit.
Anime exclusive.
The anime exclusive cities, Gringy City. What is it?
Pop Town?
Yeah. Then the beach one, like Santa
Vista, something like
Santa
that.
Vista, something.
Porta Vista.
Yeah. Okay.
Porta Vista.
Some other classics.
Well, listen. Guess what? I guess they didn't want to name it Route 13, Route 12.
The funny thing is they had to name this town, and they knew that it was like an episode where he catches a Muck, and they didn't have a direct translation for the town, so they literally took grungy and combined it with dingy and made the town name, and it's where he catches where he catches a Pokemon made of sludge. So hats off to the creative team in translating this episodes.
It's just Gringy City, mate. It's a Gringe.
It sounds like English.
Yeah. So they've got a couple new Pokemon on tap. That's always fun. Fuschia City Gym. You know what? Let's not even say that because they don't even mention the fact that it's a gym until halfway through the episode.
Yeah.
Beginning of this episode, Misty's. Go ahead.
This is really a drug dealer's house. Like his walls do like 360s. His bathtubs lift up.
Yeah. I'd say it's super chilled out.
You're in rooms where you're like, does anybody live in this house?
Yeah, pretty much. Like there's a lot of things going. Somehow he has like invisible walls that will pop up.
I mean, that's the only. I was excited for that. It was the only thing thus far, as we've been going over these episodes. It's kind of the only thing that's been replicated from the game and into the anime is the invisible walls from Koga's gym. And I like the invisible walls in Koga's gym. I thought there was like, this is interesting. I can't move that well.
It was truly in the bizarre the first time in the game.
Yeah, in the game, it's like, whoa, what the fuck? All right, well. I'm just gonna I keep running into the same place. Where the hell is this wall?
It was annoying.
Yeah, like I have mentioned to you guys before this, like my first time with Koga was when he was with the Elite Four, and actually he was so I didn't actually get a chance to like know his gym until later. I think he pops up again as a gym leader in Leaf Green, right?
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
Yes. So no, but the first time I like get introduced to Koga in the game is he's an Elite Four, and that's like the one that I had struggled with him the whole fucking time. I don't know why, but that was the one. I had to use so many antidotes. I was like loading up on antidotes.
Listen, you just had to burn everything, man. Just burn it all. Burn it all. From area dose to all this other things, spinner rack, whatever the hell you use, burn them all. Listen, this episode, things just happen. There's no course or anything. There's no rhyme
even more than
reason.
usual.
Yeah, it's just a sequence of things happening one after the other, and then he gets a gym badge at the end. Yeah. So there's no journey. There's no.
I don't even think they gave him toxic. He didn't even get toxic.
Nah. There's no your defense of all Pokemon now. None of that stuff. There's no rhyme or reason for this episode. Things just happen. Ash and Misty and Brock, they're talking about their Pokemon, and Misty thinking about trading Psyduck, and doesn't know whatever. They see a giant kind of Japanese home or dojo or something along those lines.
Yeah, Brock says, I didn't know old houses like this existed anymore.
In the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, because it was before the war. Those houses only existed before the war. That's what he really wanted to say.
Yeah, it is what he wanted. That's what he said in the direct translation.
Listen, it didn't have some legendary bird or dogs to burn it down or something along those lines. They make their way into a gym following a Venonat. They encounter many traps, Voltorbs, which only purpose to serve is exploding.
Why were like Voltorbs just popping? Yeah, it's popping up like from the floor. Like that's wildly dangerous. Like he really did not want no one in his house. Like he just had these joints just ready to explode.
Extremely dangerous. Yeah, they explode on impact, man. What are you doing?
Listen, Voltorbs and Electrodes. I mean, they don't really get much love ever. So for them to be featured in such a prominent exploding role, I mean,
they don't want to answer the real facts about
they really don't.
They're literally possessed Pokeballs, right? It's like
conspiracy hour with Jeff.
No,
please
straight up, real quick. We're here. So Ghastly and Hunter have the ability to go inside of objects, right? Voltorb has Hunter's eyes and Ghastly's eyes. Literally. I mean,
not heard this one before.
Literally, I mean,
I like where this is going. Keep going.
Look at it, man. They don't want to talk about the real facts here, man. I'm telling you.
Why
is this a Pokeball?
This is bigger than like the UFO videos.
It's real life, man. Go check. I mean, hey, it's there for y'all. Y'all can look it up, man. It's crazy.
What were you saying, Pat?
Oh, nothing. Total bullshit.
Anyway, beyond the total bullshit, they meet Aya, who nearly kills Ash via ninja stars. Aya, not to be confused with Janine, who I confused immediately. I was like, oh, this must be anime Janine.
Meelz, I'm sorry. He is, almost killed with ninja stars. This is after they already think he's dead.
Yeah,
he falls off like a cliff in that hallway, and they all he's dead. And
they went through like a bunch of deadly
sad.
Oh yeah,
they went through a bunch of deadly stuff in this episode, like crossing the log, and he's like holding on to the log.
Oh,
just to
yeah, I
get
forgot
there.
all about that bridge
For a
part. That
badge.
bridge part is crazy.
He's tripping. No, they get into the house. Then you got the Voltorbs everywhere exploding. The dropping wall, the ninja stars, like they were really trying to kill some 10-year-olds.
It's like, I get it. You guys are ninjas. That's cool. Let's move on. I need to battle this. I mean, this is a Pokemon
Ninja Gym,
battle.
baby. Yeah,
It's crazy.
Ninja Gym.
That's low key kind of cheating
to me,
because like you can't try to like, kill the trainer before they actually get to you.
Yeah, in a competitive animal fight, what? That doesn't make sense.
Throwing stars to me, so 90s. I haven't seen the throwing star since, but you know what? I liked them.
I can never
there.
dissociate throwing stars from the South Park episode.
From the South Park episode where he throws it in Butter's eye.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that South Park episode is called Good Times with Weapons.
Yes, it is. Yes,
Which is basically could have been named this episode. Pokemon.
Yeah, really could have. Hey, I like the Ninja Star though because in the manga that's Koga's, that's his Pokeball. Like he has special Ninja Star Pokeballs.
Oh, that's awesome.
Okay. Yeah, nah, they didn't make that this awesome in this episode, man.
Yeah, they did it. But yes, that's dope. I like it.
Aya is Koga's sister. Not to be confused with Janine, who is Koga's daughter. A family affair. And she says, you know what? This Venonat said there are stupid trainers outside trying to break into my gym.
I love that line.
So we're going to battle now. And, blah, blah. And, Ash doesn't question anything. It's just like, I'm in this house. You want to battle? No, of course, it's a battle. So we have Venonat versus Bulbasaur. First of all, Venonat extremely over in this episode.
So much.
Yeah. No.
Oh man, so much Venonat love.
Grand opening, grand closing for Venonat after this. It never saw the light of day again.
No, no one ever saw it for Venonat because one, why would you? But then two, like it seemed cooler in theory than in actual practice itself. Like it seems like the psychic bug thing that's like, oh, it's gonna be crazy, and then you realize it's still just a regular bug. So,
it can still be like when you put that Charmander, you're like, okay, this should be over.
Yeah, 100%. Venonat versus Bulbasaur. Stun Spore. Venonat uses Stun Spore. Bulbasaur uses Whirlwind. Crazy.
Deep
Can't
breath.
use that to get. Can't use that move in real life.
Of course,
this battle really shows
these weird ass fucking Pokemon, and like they always have a move that does not come with the Pokemon.
Yeah, no.
Yeah,
Bulbasaur
talk
has
about that a
crazy
little bit
lung capacity.
Ash is a very lucky trainer. This is all I really got from this episode because he was making some pretty bad decisions and somehow, some way, was just winning.
Fails, huh? Never fails.
Yeah,
Well,
I'm
guess
glad you said that because this is definitely a very they're all like Ash's dumb guy episodes, but this was a classic stupid Ash episode.
Well, he makes a great decision towards the end of the battle because he uses Leech Seed, which looks actually cool.
It does.
It's like it's a seed implanted into your brain. I don't want to say into your brain, but it kind of looks like it. And then it just started like sucking the power out, and like Venonat was like powerless. And I was like, wow, imagine if that worked just like that in actual.
Still
game.
love Leech Seed. Still love Leech Seed.
No, yeah,
Leech Seed has its purpose. It can be very, very annoying.
Man, I don't know. Like you guys were talking about Venonat and even Venomoth a little bit being like underwhelming, and I kind of think they are, but like. There were some things where I was like, man, you could have gave these trainers like I respected like Paris and Parasect a lot. Like I like the idea of it and what it is. It makes sense to me. I was like, man, they should have just paired Koga up with some other shit, man. It's like sometimes it's just like the final battle is so underwhelming to me. Sometimes it's like there's other things that I feel like if you're facing a gym leader and they're giving you their alls, even the idea of them having like the pre-evolution first and then the king, it's like. I really don't want to see I'd rather them come in with nothing but all their final evolutions of everything they got. I don't even care if it's 2 Venomoths. Let it just be that. That's why
I would actually tend to agree with that.
That's why the game is so easy sometimes. I think that's why we complained about the consistency of it being difficult and easy or wanting like a difficulty level mode or something. Because like, I mean. If I see a Venonat level 40, I'm not like gonna be upset about that regardless. Like I know I can handle it just because it's not evolved.
Yeah.
It's a gym battle.
Yeah. Why are gym leaders using like the beginning evolution?
Especially when it's a gym where you're literally like it's the first gym where you're forced to fight almost every single gym trainer.
Yeah, that's true.
So why don't they give like this should basically be the recipe for every single gym. All of the you spread out pre-evolutions over the gym trainers, and then the leader has the final ones.
The finals.
What's so hard about that?
It's not.
That's a layup. That's a layup. And
it would be. It would be more. I mean, I just feel like people would appreciate a little bit more it being more difficult in that situation. Like we'll probably still make it through, instead of giving us gimmicky things like, for example, like the Dynamax thing. Like I'm skipping ahead to where we are today, but they're good time. I ended up enjoying them after all, but it is just a way to try to make the game a little bit more difficult. But once you learn it, it's really not that serious. Oh, I can do it too, or I can, stall out theirs and then wait. You know what I'm saying? And here we are still. Here we go all the way back. And every opponent Ash has, who's a gym leader, never goes full power with whatever they have. And I can't fuck with that shit sometimes, man.
No, you're right. Listen, Jeff with the major points.
Hammer.
Yeah. A serious moment with Jeff. I was
man. Raise the difficulty. Give me options, man. Give me options.
Well, after this, Koga appears, and then we find out that this is an actual gym. So it's halfway into the episode until we actually find out this is a gym.
A quick thing about Week C too that I liked about it is that because you just finished up UU hours, it really looks like a Kurama move where he would just like throw his rolls out. Throw his rolls out. That's why I liked it. That's why I fucked with it. Shout out to UU.
Yes, shout out to UU. Koga appears, actual leader of the gym. I don't know if I'd probably be pissed if I was Ash if I just faced somebody and it had no consequence and wasted a whole Pokemon and all the PP and all the other stuff like that. But actual gym leader, he challenges Ash to battle, says, "Hey, your Venonat, you may have faced this Venonat, but my Venonat has
See, here we go.
Has a way more experience than those Venonats."
If your Venonat has more experience, it should be a Venomoth, my nigga. Period.
Oh, well, guess what? Ash sends out his Pidgeotto, and he sends out his worldly experienced Venonat, who evolves on cue.
Which is
immediately.
Yes, he literally throws it out, and he just goes, you know what? I feel like evolving right now.
They just did this with the Kadabra.
They did. I feel like Koga got his Venonat right to that stage, which I couldn't tell you. I think maybe it evolves at 30 or 28 or whatever. I don't even remember. He got it to that last point where the experience is about to hit. He's like, as soon as I throw him out, he's going to get enough experience. He's going to evolve. He's been planning this. What a jerk.
Do you guys remember what Brock says immediately after? That made me look at him extremely left, right, sideways all the time. Do you remember what he actually says?
What do you say?
He says, "A metamorphosis attack?" And I'm just like,
that's what he said?
That's what he says in the show.
Oh my god.
Whereas Missy's like, no, it just evolved.
Dumbass. Aren't you a Pokemon breeder? Don't you want to? What kind of
You're a former gym leader.
You were just talking about like maybe 10 minutes ago.
Maybe he's ahead of his time. Maybe the form changes. The form changes where he was the first one who thought of it. He was the first one before we reached Gen 7 and Gen 8 of these form changes that happened.
Brock's getting philosophical.
Oh my god, but he really screamed out a metamorphosis attack, and I'm just like, bruh, are you serious?
Everybody in the room got silent. You're like, who's this?
Yeah.
That's one of the classic things where I think it's probably just a result of like it being a translation by people who don't really care how they translate a kid's show. But there's like, I would say a lot of like, it'd take me a long time to make the list, but there's probably a decently long list of words in my head that are like slightly advanced vocabulary words I for some reason learned from like shit like this, like metamorphosis. That's probably one of the first times I heard that word. Like, what?
The fuck is that?
100%. It's similar to when I was a kid, and this is completely off thing to Pokemon, I only knew the difference between vertical and horizontal because it was called a vertical suplex. And you went straight up in the air and not straight down. So
Hey man, you
That's
knew
how
it though.
you know.
You knew it.
This is
You gotta learn how you gotta learn.
I didn't know. I didn't know butterflies came from caterpillars until Pokemon. So there's that.
There you go. A metamorphosis
Wow.
attack.
Yeah.
Can we like create a whole little lesson plan just based on all Pokemon
From
stuff?
that I
Pokemon?
learned.
Of course. Listen, the Pokemon teach us lessons every day.
We got to talk about the lesson they really hid from everybody that's been making the rounds on social media lately, which is that in the Japanese version of the game, the guy who teaches you how to catch Pokemon is he's drunk as shit at 10 a.m.
He's drunk.
And they, because of like how, I don't know, puritanical the U.S. is about booze, he just needs coffee in the U.S. version, which, you know, kind of the same thing, but a little watered down.
Yeah, a little watered down. Venomoth is now large and in charge. It is against Pidgeotto. It uses a combination of Stun Spore and Sleep Powder. Don't ask me how. It just
doesn't work. It's not real.
This doesn't work in real games, but
handled this.
But for the purpose of this anime, 100% works. Actually,
it makes no sense. It really makes no sense. If you're asleep, why would I paralyze you? You can't move anyways.
Regardless, that's foul.
Overkill, my friend. It's overkill. This is Koga's gym.
Yeah, like that sucks. Like
It's Koga's gym, baby. We use all types of sleep powders. Anyway, Ash sends out Charmander.
But it makes sense. He's trying to kill. Like he's all. This episode's all about overkill. Everything's overkill in this episode. You gotta stun them. You gotta sleep them. You gotta put Voltorbs in the ground. Everything.
All this other stuff. And you know what? We're still only like minorly halfway through this episode. Let's speed up through the rest of this. Ash sends out Charmander, but the battle is interrupted by theatrics. The theatrics.
Here we go.
Of Team Rocket in these very elaborate costumes. They saw the place. They saw the Japanese thing. They said, we have to get our whole... I forgot what they're actually called. Fuck. They said it in the episode too. It's like, I don't want to say kimonos, but they got the whole garb and they had the whole thing. And they stepped in and did their whole...
Right?
Kabuki. There we go. Kabuki outfits also debuts in this episode. As we're talking about, it didn't actually debut in this episode, but we're going to talk about it. Team Rocket's Pokemon has evolved. Ekans has now evolved into Arbok. Coughing has now evolved into Wheezing. It was a very interesting evolution tactic that they did in the Diglett episode, a classic episode.
Yeah, classic.
Shout out to my guy Gary.
Yeah,
that episode.
Young Gary.
You might have to do a live watch for that too. But they make their debuts, at least in this podcast, at least.
Arbok
and
is one of my favorite things. Sorry, Meelz, go ahead.
No. Finish up because
it's one of my favorite things that it's not actually one of my favorite things. It's like it's a soft, racial dog whistle that still occurs in almost every form of entertainment. But Arbok appears on screen, and then there's kind of like quote unquote Indian music.
Oh yeah.
They still do this shit. Like this was probably made in 99, 2000, which that was happening all the time then. But watch Avengers Endgame or something, and every time Black Panther appears on the screen, there's African drums in the background.
Right.
It happens all the time, and I cannot get over it. Anyway,
it changed Arbok's design too.
I love you, Pat. I love that I go to Arbok's Bulbapedia page and you don't scroll down too far long before you see Charmeleon slicing it in half.
I told you.
Bro, listen, turn this man into little fillets.
And they cooked them.
They cooked them.
100%. Surprise, motherfuckers. Team Rocket has webs. They got web-based attacks, and they managed to trap all the Pokemon, including the Voltorb, including everything. They managed to grab all the Voltorb for a reason. I don't know. I mean, Pikachu and Charmander and all the other Pokemon that have been whooping your ass for the past number of months are right there. But they grab all the Voltorbs, and Psyduck makes a surprise appearance to try to save the day. Oh, Psyduck. Misty doesn't know Psyduck's moves. She was like, all right, what moves does he have? And Dexter's kind of reading off Tail Whip. And he does Tail Whip. And it's adorable. And it's hilarious. Because he just shakes his tail.
That's it. Defense goes
And then he does scratch, which is pathetic, because it gets its head trapped into Arbok's thing. And we fast forward. Eventually, the entire gimmick with Psyduck is if its headache gets severe enough, it gets great psychic attacks and great psychic powers. I've never understood why it takes such thing to trigger that, but this is a fucking entertainment television show.
Psyduck is just Milton Wadhams from Office Space. That's really it.
What a reference. Hold up. Oh my god.
You really think about it. Really think about it. Like, he just keeps trying these things and saying these little threats until his like blood pressure gets high enough where he finally goes. It's crazy. Wow.
Psyduck reminds me of Mob in Mob Psycho 100. Hey, especially with the same eyes and the same psychic power.
Sad thing, man. I mean, Golduck has still not became psychic water. I don't
really.
I still don't understand what's going
on.
No,
it doesn't make any sense.
It makes no sense. It makes no sense.
Doesn't make sense.
Whatever. I just had to say that real quick because Golduck is really cool. Like I always thought it was such a cool ass Pokemon.
Yeah, really cool.
Yeah,
but they just never gave it to him, and he's just pure water. I still don't get it.
Wait, so Golduck isn't psychic too?
Nah, no. Golduck's not psychic.
Losing a type?
That makes no sense. How do you lose a type?
Yeah.
Psy is in Psyduck's name, and it's not even psychic. Yeah. It's pathetic, but anyway, he uses all his he uses all his cool psychic attacks, such as Disable, and I think Confusion, which all look the same, but you know what, whatever, fine. It's Disable, there's Confusion, he manages to get them out the paint.
You got a little feedback going on here, I think.
Yeah, someone's mic's acting up. Who's speaking? Let's see. Jamal, you speak.
Yo.
Jeff, you speak.
Yo.
All right, then I don't know what the fuck that was. Yeah, we're good now. And then, yes, once again, Psyduck gets Team Rocket out of the paint, and suddenly everyone, Koga's coming in and is like, I would gladly give up my Venomoth for this Psyduck.
These guys are...
we skipped one part. Why does he have a slant room? Why does he have a slanted room? What is the point of this?
Bro. Ninjas.
Our enemies.
Ninjas, bro.
Ninjas, baby. This is what we got. He got a slant room. I don't know, unless he's doing like he's into some weird kinky shit. But everyone wants to trade for Psyduck, and Misty's like, I will never trade Psyduck. And Ash says, you couldn't get rid of Psyduck. Whereas Brock responds, a woman heart can be a very fickle thing, Ash. And
yeah, here we go. Boom, take that. That would never be a line in 2020. Yeah. No, they're taking that baby out.
Not only would it not be a line in 2020, but thanks, Brock, for your advice on the ladies.
I'm saying they're worse.
Oh,
why is Brock telling this to a 10-year-old? Like, what is like? Ash is like, all right.
Okay. True that.
This is like the second moment of Brock's having where he says something and the next character is just like, bro, what? Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Oh my
it's
god!
It's a metamorphosis. No, my guy, it's an evolution.
But we eventually get to resume the battle: Charmander versus Golbat. I love Golbat's just look. I love Golbat. I think it was more scarier. The sprite in the original game was like its tongue all out and shit.
Yeah.
I thought that was so sick. I love Golbat and just kind of how it looks.
I have a lot of respect for that evolutionary line overall. Like
me too.
Meelz, we spoke about Crobat and Golbat.
Yeah, I love Crobat.
I know Zubat has a bad rap just because of how annoying it was in the originals, but the evolutionary line, they got that shit right every time. So
yeah,
awesome.
No, you're right.
I like how annoying it is.
Zubats are annoying. They're worth it though if you catch one.
Yeah, that supersonic ain't no joke back then.
Yeah, no, you're right. Golbat makes his debut, of course. It comes in. Charmander absolutely works him pretty much, like without a fail. Like uses flamethrower, things.
He has horrible aim. He just hit him with a lucky shot. Like that ending just summarized how that whole episode was, of just a lot of just shooting fire out of your mouth, and then you hit one thing, and you're like, okay,
just things happening. It's just things happening.
Yeah, you gotta understand. Charmander was a little like. His Charmander was special. Like Ash always got the most special shit. Like his Pokemon had their final moves early. You know, like they were always a little bit more OP than a regular version of the Pokemon. His Charmander was a little wild, man.
Yeah, his Charmander was, it did its thing. It did a thing. He got flamethrower really, really early. He pretty much ends this entire battle with fire spin, which looks sick. Because it's like fuck a fire spin. It's a fire tornado.
Fire spin is like the ultimate moves in the anime, and as soon as I got it in the game, I was like, "Wait a second, it's not good.
This is whack."
I felt so betrayed.
Yeah, me too. Literally, me too. I was like, "This is incredibly."
I don't want to be in a continue. Yeah, because it's basically rap with fire.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, I can't wait to get Vulpix and teach it Fire Spin. My favorite Pokemon ever. It's so badass. And then it was like, oh, Vulpix is like really kind of weak and Fire Spin sucks.
Yes, I love Vulpix too, but it was worthless. It's really kind of worthless in Pokemon the game.
Yeah, even like a Alolan Vulpix is so sick, and like you can get the Ninetales that really has like the specialized the sheer cold Ninetales.
Yeah.
But it's still like its defense is very bad.
Yeah.
It's horrible.
Can't anything. Sorry, Vulpix.
Fire Spin in Gen 1 had a power of 15 and an accuracy of 70.
Oh,
and I was like, what the hell is this? And then by Gen 5 and then Gen things, it ended up raising a little bit more. And it's pretty much wrap.
What's that, 40 or something?
It's at 35, and now its accuracy is 85. And it now lasts 4 to 5 turns, and blah blah blah. It's a little bit better now. Still crap.
Yeah, still weak.
Still weak, unfortunately, because the anime put it over real great. But Charmander defeats Golbat pretty handedly, and you know what? Despite the fact that that Koga also defeated one of Ash's, I guess he didn't really defeat it. He just put it to sleep and paralyzed it. I'm trying to think of the semantics of how Ash actually wins this badge. But you know what? I just guess he won, I guess. I don't know.
He just won. He won. Respect.
He just got the badge. He beat Golbat. I think that was the only thing that he needed to do at this point. He beat Golbat. He saved the gym. He gets the badge. Bada bing, bada boom.
The Team Rocket appearance in this episode takes up such a random, like, they really did not know what to do.
Yeah, they just busted in like you said, just randomly. It made zero sense, and they interrupted a battle that I would have rather seen.
Oh yeah, it would have been like a pretty good, like just a straight up battling episode.
If it made sense, it ain't Team Rocket, man. So it's always got to be nonsense. It's always got to be nonsense, man.
100%. I mean, well, that was this. I think we managed to stretch this out a lot and make it a lot more entertaining than it actually was, because
this episode was disappointing to me because Koga is actually a very cool looking character.
Yeah, he is.
Like aesthetically, he's really cool, and like in the manga, like even his backstory is cool, where he's one of like the top guys in Team Rocket. Like he's one of like Giovanni's advisors, and like all these cool things in the manga that does not translate into the anime.
Of course not. Why would it? This is a kid show. This is so ridiculous. We never get any cool, fun stuff in this actual damn show. But with that said, Ash gets his 6th badge. It would be his last badge for actually quite some time. Like it ends up being a while before he gets the next badge. Like, but the soul badge is his. He wins the thing. And that's kind of the end of the episode, man. First of all, thank you, Jamal, for coming through and talking pokes with us.
Sir.
Always. I'm so happy to be here. So, hey.
And if you're listening to this, chances are it already happened. I'm actually more than sure that it already happened. But thank you to everyone who joined us on our live watches for both the SSN one and also the starter Pokemon live watches. Those are all fun. it just was. Thank you guys for joining, and thank you guys. And as we're looking forward towards, I don't know if we'll do it for the new. I mean, we could do it for the new anime too, but I just know the new anime. I've watched the new anime, and
I don't know how many people are going to pop in.
Yeah, I don't know. I think this Netflix thing could be kind of big for it.
No, I mean the Netflix thing for Pokemon is huge for the fact that it's Netflix and it's Pokemon, and they're only doing 12 episodes every 3 months, which I think is not fair at all.
No, that's hardly any.
Yeah, it's like you're gonna binge it. First of all, they're 20-minute episodes. You're gonna binge it in like half of 3 hours.
3 hours.
Yeah, and then you have to wait 3 months to pretty much get it again. But you know,
did Netflix strike a deal with them because they got the Pokemon movie? Are they doing another series, or is it just the original series in that movie that they're redoing?
No,
they're just bringing the series over.
Pretty much, I think it's just they're bringing the series over.
Okay.
I would like to watch Ash get a Dragonite or a Gengar together as a family. I mean, I'm not opposed to it.
Yeah, that's sick.
It'd have to be a big moment, though. Yeah, for sure.
You would think, but you know, you would think. That's all I can say. You would think, but you know, chances are it's kind of more or less. Some things are different, some things stay the same, and this is kind of one of those things.
Well,
the next gym that we've got coming up is quite honestly the most anticipated of the series thus far. It is the main event battle. This is pay-per-view viewing.
Yes.
I remember as a kid seeing this episode live on Saturday morning. This is Charizard versus Magmar.
Oh god!
On the top of a volcano.
It's crazy how long it took for like new episodes to catch up with the, you know, like the phenomenon of the show. Because even the Koga episode, I think I saw that as like, I don't know, it might have been the first run, it might have been a rerun. They reran a lot before I saw the Blaine episode.
There was a first run of episodes that ended with Ash's Charmander evolving, so the Market Executor. So it ended with that. That was October 30th, 1998, according to Bulbapedia, and that you know, in terms of when that finished airing, and then the next episode wouldn't start till the following year, pretty much. So didn't get a lot.
In terms of Magmar versus Charizard, I'm just gonna go on record of saying this is one of the best anime battles, and I'm just talking about anime in just general. This is a great like anime fight.
They owed it to us. They owed it to us.
Yes, they did.
Yeah, they owed it to us really bad.
Yes, they did.
But like, and I remember watching this as a kid.
Should have been an hour long. Should have been an hour long episode.
It should have been an hour long special. I will. Yes, this. But yeah, that battle is amazing.
It was an hour long special. It was.
Oh my!
I remember.
Really?
I was about to say.
It was.
Bro. I was about to
say.
Yeah.
They did the whole riddle me this and the volcanic panic, which are the names of the episodes. So if you kind of want to watch it, it is the. You know what? We'll get to it when we get to the episode because it has one of the most infamous moments in Pokemon history.
Magmar, man. One of my he's in my top 5, so I got love for Magmar.
It's one of the most infamous moments dealing with Pikachu in the first part of the second part of this two-parter. And then, you know, before that, but we're just kicking through these things, man. We just finished the 6th gym. We got 2 more gyms to go, and then we'll hit the Pokemon League and see what's going on there. But yeah, man, this has been Mount Silver, episode 15. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure you continue to subscribe to the Lookout on RNC Radio so you can listen to this podcast. You can listen to the Lookout, which is coming back at the end of May. So make sure you tune into that. We are be talking about, actually, will we announce what we'll be talking about by the time this comes out? All right. Just stay tuned to the Lookout on RNC on Twitter as well. You can also listen to Big Eyes podcast every week with the host Jamal, who is currently the guest on this episode. So make sure you tune into that. Lots of manga, lots of manga. Excuse me, I sound like a douche. Lots of manga on every week.
And we also dropped the thread of mangas you should be reading right now too.
Oh yes.
Yeah, like you know, if you're like, I don't know what to read, check that thread out.
Yes.
I don't read manga. I just color it in like a coloring book.
You just
the real Pat way.
Words are meaningless with the pictures.
Yes. But wait, Jamal, you said you had one more story for us.
Oh,
one
yes.
more.
So, my grandparents are pastors. And so when they figured out that Pokemon supposedly stand for pocket demon, they were not
pocket monsters, man. Pocket demons. What the hell?
Yes. So, when they figured that out, they were not happy, and like they got my mom, somehow convinced my mom to just take all my Pokemon stuff. So she took all this Pokemon stuff.
I remember that era, bro. I remember that era because Harry Potter was getting destroyed, and so
man, bro,
it was a bad time for anything wicked.
The guy who was my roommate for like over 10 years, his mom threw away 4 seasons of Buffy on DVD.
Oh, no, not Buffy.
And that was at the time, that was like $400 worth of stuff at the time.
Yes,
wow.
Bro. Man, shout out
Holy
Buffy
shit.
and Angel real quick. Shout out Spike. He played Piccolo later. Awful role, but I just had to say that real quick.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I loved Marsters is the best part of the Dragon Ball movie.
Absolutely.
Oh my god.
So they took my stuff, and at the time I'm like, man, what the heck? Like I'm tripping. So I would go to my after school program with all of my Game Boy games and just everything I've like anything cool that I had, and I would trade all my friends for their Pokemon stuff. And I had this like secret stash in my room. I'm talking about a box hidden under a dresser, hidden under a secret cup. I'm talking.
Would have thought it was porn. He was out here.
Yeah, for real. But it was just a bunch, like me just out here hustling to re-up all my Pokemon stuff. I was like, she took my games and everything. I was like, you know what? I'm not feeling this. I'm not feeling this little lifestyle change.
Bro. I'm sorry, man. That's awful, bro.
So, yeah, that's my final Pokemon story.
So you're here now.
Story.
But I'm here now. I'm an adult now.
Circle moment.
Yes, I'm an adult now who can just go out and buy as much Pokemon stuff as possible.
And talk about it for damn near an hour at this point. So yes.
For real.
With that said, thank you, Jamal, once again for that story and for being a guest on this episode. We will have more Mount Silver coming very soon. Stay tuned. Follow Lookout on RNC. Follow the RNC Radio Live on Twitter. And yeah, we got more coming soon. We'll see you guys next week. Take care.
Peace.